I do want to segue back to football, and we'll go back to Gophers football because they have a new defensive coordinator. Then we'll talk Vikings, as I teased at the beginning. Corey Hetherman, contrary to popular belief, not a former Civil War general. He was not an extra in Weird Al's Amish Paradise. He is a defensive coordinator, and he is the new defensive coordinator at the University of Minnesota by way of Rutgers, where he was a linebackers coach. Daniel, first and foremost, before we get to Corey, kind of incredible all the coaches that go back and forth between Minnesota and Rutgers. We've developed quite the pipeline there over the last handful of years. And I think that's obvious with the connection between Greg Schiano and PJ Fleck, but it just seems like they're trading coaches almost every year.
Yeah, and some of it is, too, PJ's had coaches that have gone to Schiano because there's not room or they're looking to advance their career, and then they go out there, do well, and then, end up coming back, or it's vice versa. It's, Kirk Shiraka going out to Rutgers because Rutgers has a really good assistant pool. So it kind of is a two-way street there, and it makes sense just because philosophically there's a lot of similarities. That's why I think is the value of the Heatherman pick here is, it has experience in that quarter structure, four down front defense that Minnesota's run. So there'll be some schematic continuity at its core. But then there's some twists that can be added to that, where you got some blitz game stuff that was very strong at James Madison. D-line movement game is an area I think that they can continue to expand in. They didn't do a ton of it at Rutgers, but dashing it in I think is effective. But schematically, there's going to be some intriguing wrinkles. He has put together some very efficient run defenses. I mean, I've watched a film on some of their games, a lot of their games actually, and I'm absolutely impressed by their defensive line, how they get off of blocks, how they play the run, the physicality. That's the first thing I look for, because if you're physical and you play hard up front, you're going to give yourself a chance. And I thought his run defenses, their block deconstruction, the fundamentals are rock solid. I think he's going to do a nice job and provide some continuity that they need just at its core from a schematic standpoint.
Will fans watching notice a difference? The average fan watching, will they see different things, or will it look pretty similar to what they saw with Joe Rossi at the helm?
I think it'll look pretty similar, but I also think like there's going to be some packages where they're going to blitz in some spots where first and 10 blitzes, passing down situation blitzes. The nickel cornerback spot is going to be pretty important. I can see that just based on how often that player was involved in blitzing, and then playing the run, setting the edge, becoming very active in run fits, which that's nothing new. That was a big part of what Joe Rossi had in his scheme. So I think at its core, the good news is like the existing staff has worked with a similar structure that they had at Rutgers, and he can come in, implement similar thing, get the core going, and then add in the wrinkles. But the fundamentals of their defense are really good. That's the first thing I look for when I'm watching film. And I feel like that's definitely the case. I thought it was actually a very good move.